Hello Man United fans. Stay up to date with the latest Man United transfer news as Marcus Rashford takes action on his future and Ruben Amorim makes his priority signing for the January window. Man United transfer news. Marcus Rashford takes action as Ruben Amorim decides priority signing. Manchester United are spinning a number of plates heading into the transfer window, and some stars, including Marcus Rashford, are trying to find a new club in January. The transfer window is officially open, but don't expect Manchester United to break the bank this month. The Red Devils will have to wheel and deal in January if they are to provide their new head coach, Ruben Amorim, with the fresh faces that his beleaguered team would appear to desperately need. United are languishing in 14th place in the Premier League after back-to-back losses over the Christmas period. And with a daunting trip to arch-rivals Liverpool on the horizon, things could get even worse for Amorim and company. Rashford takes action. Marcus Rashford has reportedly opened talks with a new agency as he bids to secure a move away from Manchester United. The forward, 27, is represented by his brother, Dwayne Maynard. But according to The Sun, Rashford has held talks with the Stellar Group and wants to get more people working on his next move. Stellar famously helped Gareth Bale land his blockbuster move to Real Madrid in the past and could help Rashford find a new home, though it remains to be seen whether that is viable in the January window or not. Amorim decides priority signing. Ruben Amorim wants to sign a new goalkeeper in the wake of Andre Onana's inconsistent performances. United paid out big money to sign the Cameroon international from Inter Milan back in the summer of 2022, but Onana has made a catalogue of high-profile errors since moving to Old Trafford. And while the 28-year-old has been in better form so far this season, Amorim wants to sign a new goalkeeper to push him in 2025, according to the Manchester Evening News. Casemiro set for Saudi. Casemiro is said to be ready to consider a move in January as clubs in the Saudi Pro League weigh up a move for the veteran midfielder. The Brazil star, 32, has come in for criticism over the past 18 months after a drop in form. And that has led to speculation that United would like to offload the veteran's substantial salary despite the fact he impressed during his first season at Old Trafford. According to Brazilian outlet UOL, there are as many as 6 Saudi Pro League clubs in the running to sign Casemiro, including Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr. Joshua Zirkzee makes final transfer decision as 2 clubs offer Man United escape route. Joshua Zirkzee has been linked to a January transfer despite only joining Manchester United in a £36 million deal in the summer after failing to set Old Trafford alight so far. Joshua Zirkzee is ready to fight for his place at Manchester United under Ruben Amorim despite being hauled off after 33 minutes against Newcastle. The £36 million signing was said to be in tears after being substituted in his side's defeat, and was linked with a move away from the club this month. After scoring on his Premier League debut against Fulham, the Dutch forward has failed to kick on and netted just 4 goals in all. The 23-year-old has already been offered an escape route from Old Trafford to reunite with a familiar face. The Serie A side are interested in signing Zirkzee on loan for the remainder of the season to link up with his former Bologna coach Thiago Motta. United may yet insist that any deal would have to include an obligation to buy the ex-Bayern Munich ace. Juventus could also see competition from Italian rivals Napoli. Both clubs were beaten to Zirkzee's signature in the summer by United, despite the Italian giants both preparing themselves to pounce. Mail Online report that the forward is aware of the interest but focused on United. Zirkzee is said to have no desire to leave and wants to aid the Red Devils rise up the Premier League. United currently sit 14th in the division with just 2 wins from 8 matches since Amorim's arrival. Following the ignominy of a first-half substitution earlier this week, Zirkzee may have significant work to do to turn his own reputation around in England. Nevertheless, United's head coach appears to retain some faith in his charge. Amorim explained his brutal decision following the game and praised Zirkzee's training ground efforts. "I talked with Josh about that because it's important to express the message, but I'm always thinking about the team, and in that moment it was important for the team, for Josh, to go out," he said. "You have to think about the team and also sometimes about the player because the player is suffering. I was there a few years ago and I know that he wants it because I saw it during the week, and that's the most important thing. I felt that the team was suffering another midfielder to have more ball. And then we start to have more ball with Kobbie Mainoo," Amorim added. "It was really Really tough on me to do that substitution. Incoming fire sale. Ruben Amorim wants 5 Man United stars out in January. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim is reportedly looking to rid himself of 5 players who are definitely not part of his plans. The Red Devils continue to plummet towards historic new lows, currently sitting 14th in the Premier League table, having suffered 3 straight defeats in a row. But as demonstrated by his controversial first-half substitution against Newcastle United, Amorim isn't one to hide away from making tough, cutthroat decisions. So Calciomercato expects him to offload 5 players this month, or at least attempt to. As you would expect following Monday's action, Joshua Zirkzee is on the blacklist. Nevertheless, after the humiliation he was forced to endure while being cheered off the pitch by his own supporters, an Old Trafford exit could be quite a relief for the Netherlands international, who hasn't been able to find his feet since making the summer move from Bologna. The 23-year-old remains a popular figure in Serie A, especially at Juventus, where his old ally Thiago Motta is currently in charge. Hence, the stars could be lining up for this one. Joshua Zirkzee and 4 other Man United stars unwanted by Ruben Amorim. The next 2 names on the list are the struggling midfield duo of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. The 2 players got the nod against the Magpies and were agonizingly overran in the middle of the park. The Brazilian is reportedly wanted by several Saudi Pro League clubs, while the Dane could leave on a cut price given that his contract will expire in the summer. The 4th name mentioned by the Italian source is Victor Lindelof, who is also running on an expiring contract. The Sweden international is clearly not part of Amorim's plans, as the Portuguese remains reluctant to give him minutes. Finally, Antony has been one of the club's less fruitful signings over the past few years, especially when taking into account his £84 million price tag. The Brazilian wasn't able to deliver the goods under the guidance of his old mentor Erik ten Hag, and he's unlikely to do so in Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system. Transfer News Live. Man United get green light to strike £58 million deal as Liverpool approach made. Express Sport brings you the latest transfer news and gossip from the Premier League and beyond. Manchester United, Arsenal and Manchester City can finally bring in the reinforcements they need, with the January transfer window now officially open. The Red Devils are struggling in 14th in the Premier League table, with the Gunners and the Citizens facing a battle to keep their title hopes alive. United may make a host of their first-team players available for transfer after an underwhelming first half of the season. And blockbuster star Marcus Rashford appears to be coming to the end of his Red Devils career after being dropped by Ruben Amorim, but his wages could prove a sticking point for his suitors. Chelsea may dive into the transfer market after a dismal festive period that saw them pick up just 1 point in their clashes with Everton, Fulham and Ipswich. And Premier League leaders Liverpool may also be thinking about bolstering their squad, with Trent Alexander-Arnold now free to agree a deal with an overseas club as his contract expires this summer. Real Madrid weigh up second Trent Alexander-Arnold approach. Real Madrid are reportedly considering a second approach to sign Liverpool defender Trent Alexander-Arnold in January. Liverpool quickly rejected the La Liga giant's first attempt to seal a deal this month, months before his contract is due to expire at Anfield. According to The Times, Real are willing to pay just over £20 million, with Carlo Ancelotti pushing for his signature midway through the season. Liverpool are expected to resist any move for Alexander-Arnold as they pursue Premier League and Champions League glory. Former Manchester United assistant René Meulenstein is concerned about the similarities between Ruben Amorim's appointment and Erik ten Hag's. It's more to do with the appointment process than anything about his management style or coaching, Meulenstein told Express Sport with Instant Casino. You look at when United went for ten Hag. He was the manager at Ajax in a smaller league in Europe and did really well winning the league and did well in the Champions League. It's exactly the same pattern with Amorim in Portugal. Sporting, a smaller league, does well, wins the league, and does really well in the Champions League. He's got a really nice football style about him. That's where the similarities are. I think they're 2 different characters with 2 different personalities. The way that Ten Hag communicated compared to the way that Amorim communicates, the way that Amorim likes to play his team in a 3-4-3 is different from Ten Hag. But that was the concern for me with United actually copying exactly what they did by appointing Ten Hag. They do exactly what they did with Amorim. Because Ten Hag had no experience in the Premier League, Amorim has no experience in the Premier League. When Ten Hag came in,